Hello friends, this is Cara-Renee with B.Reborn Art and Healing, coming to you with a pretty simple and quick video. I am not feeling great. I actually laid down and took like a 3-hour nap on a Saturday afternoon, which I never do. But I thought I'd come on, and I'm getting a little bit behind on my videos again, so I wanted to go ahead and just get some stuff going for the fairy journals. I'm making probably 2 at the very least, one for sure that I will be selling. And so today we're going to make some vellum clusters. So I love making clusters. I love using vellum. I've done a lot of cluster videos, but I needed something simple and wanted something to go with the theme of the fairies. So I actually got this particular inspiration from Tania over at Tatty Treasures. I never thought about using a full vellum base for my clusters, and what she did is she took her vellum and she folded it over, so this is doubled, and so that's going to really help it to be strong. The thing that I'm going to be doing different with this is I'm going to put an eyelet on one corner or something. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. I think I'm going to put it off to the side just in case I want it to just be a cluster, but the jury's still out on how that's all going to work. But I thought an eyelet would be nice. The vellum is pretty strong. So let me just show you this paper really quick in case you're wondering where I get this. So what I do is I just print any kind of digital that I have purchased or a copy of something that I've done, which in this case, that's what this is. This is a copy of some mixed media coffee dyed paper that I did. So I thought, wow, why not print it out on vellum? And I love how it turned out. So on each of these, I will show you what the base looks like before we cover it up. So we're going to do 4 of these today, again, just to keep it nice and simple. This, I don't know if you guys have seen this. Jennifer Abner has one, and she showed it on one of her little videos, and mine actually broke on the top, so this part is broken, but it doesn't keep it from working. It's just this always falls off, so I want to almost just glue it on there so it'll just stop being a pain. But you just turn it like this and it opens up. I got it on Amazon, so I'll try to remember to link it. So what I've put in here is kind of some grab and go stuff. So I've got some bulb pins, eyelets, large eyelets, mostly the bronze ones, the small bronze, silver, gold, tiny paper clips, a few jump rings, gold and bronze, and then some of these clips. So that's what, and then some head pins as well. I need to do some jewelry. I need to do some dangles. I haven't been very brave doing that on camera, but maybe I'm getting better at it. I'm not sure. I love this one. Look at the top on that one. Whoops, sorry, out of camera view. Yeah, so that's my little dealio here. I'm just going to leave it open so I don't have to fuss with it again. It can be a little bit tricky to get open, but I think it's adorable. And it just kind of shrinks all up, and I just slide it under a little shelf over to my left, out of my way. So let's get going. So I'm going to go ahead and start by inking these bits up, and then we will start putting them together. Because I already pre-selected everything, I want to take a moment and talk with you about how I come up with these things. Like, how do I choose my papers? So basically, I just pull my scraps out. I'm looking for tones that go with the journal that I'm making. This happens to be a piece of coffee dyed paper. This is an original, so you can actually still see the gold on it. That's gold acrylic ink, I believe. And so, so I like that. And then I also choose either a piece of book page or music page, whichever kind of suits me at the moment. And what I have, I have a bunch of white bins that I got from IKEA, but they're now across the room, and I'm not sure that was the best solution. I may be moving them back. I used to have them like right there by me on a tall shelf, but yeah, then I moved them. So I'm probably going to have to move them back because it's like a pain in the neck to go over there, especially if I'm in the middle of a process. So because I have to go clear around my desk. I know you guys can't see my fingers. Around my desk and into this tiny, tiny little area between my desk and the other wall.
And so yeah, anyway, I'm gonna do another studio tour here soon, just for my noob subscribers. And I've done a lot of changes in the studio. I did one in July of last year, right after we put repainted and we put the laminate flooring in. But there's been a lot of changes since, just in terms of how I organize and stuff. So this is a piece of vellum. This is also from my coffee dyed paper, so really great. This is from the kit. This is I printed. These are from this is from the Fairy Tea Party kit, and it is printed 2 to a page, so that's why they're so small. And pardon my finger. A door at school kind of chewed it up. At one of those slide locks got stuck, and yeah, ow, ow, ow. Not fun. I'm going to round the corners on this. So anyway, this is a small image because it's printed 2 to a page, so I can get really miniaturized that way. So I just selected as kind of a focal point for each of these something from the kit where I could kind of draw out that center image there in the piece of paper. I believe these are fairy quotes. This one says, "My heart has wings and I can fly. I'll touch every star in the sky." I believe these are from Emma Parrish, but I will be sure to link. I just purchased them as I was looking for more kind of ephemera for the not ephemera, but words and quotes, fairy words and quotes. So that's perfect. So let's go ahead and start gluing this together. And when we're done, well, maybe we'll put the eyelet in first. Let me think about this for just a moment. I'm almost wondering if I'd like to have this go over a page, like so. Let me grab a piece of paper so I can show you what I mean now that I'm second guessing myself. Just reaching in my drawer here. See if I can find a whole piece of paper. There we go. So if this was my journal page, it would be like so. And what one could do is put it on like this, put an eyelet here, and it would be permanent to the page, but it would also have the ability to flip up. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. So that means that we need to only put the eyelet on this side. So let me ink up this edge so that I can actually, let's ink the whole thing. I'm not sure why I left all these edges straight. That's not usual for me. But I guess it's okay because it allows us to see more of that vellum design. There we go. Okie dokie. So we're going to put an eyelet. So I'm going to use the small eyelet. So that's the 1/8 inch size. I'm just going to get my little, is this the crocodile? I can never remember what this one's called, but basically it's an eyelet setter. It's just one from, it's the smaller one. So now that I can see that line, I can go ahead and punch a hole here. And again, this is very durable. Oh, wait a minute. Let me think about this. Let me think about this. Because if I put it on like that, yeah, that should still work. That should still work. I was just wanting to make sure that I didn't inhibit this area, but I think it's going to be fine. And you know what? Live and learn. If I don't like it, I'll never do it again, right? So we never know what's going to work until we try. As I shared in my, if you guys haven't seen it, I did a Hello Get to Know Me video, and that went up today on the channel, and it was okay. I was a little nerve-wracked doing it, but I went back and watched it, and I wasn't too terribly disappointed in it. And it's fun to hear. I need to get back and comment. After I did that, I fell asleep, so I have to go back and comment, read the comments again and see what everybody's saying. That's a little bit, that did not set very well, but that's okay. So again, the vellum is very strong. Obviously you can tear vellum, but It'd be really cool to do a transparency one too. So the only thing I don't like about this is we're going to have this little bit of, you know, bulk right there, but I think it's going to be all right. So there we go. So let's go ahead. Now I've got all these mixed up. What order did I have them in? I don't know. Let's see. Pretty simple layering technique here. Nothing too amazing or different. I'm thinking I want it like that though. I think that's how I had it, and I like to kind of stagger them so that we can get more opportunity to see all of those layers, kind of top and bottom. And then I like to see the layers peeking over each other like that. So let's start gluing. I am going to use my art glitter glue. Oh, I wanted to look at lace. Oh, my pin just popped off. The lid just popped off. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. I want to grab a piece of lace to put somewhere. So I'm actually thinking I would like, pink is not really going to go with that in this case, but oh, here's some gold. This is a piece of gold fabric I've been using. Oh, you know what? Sorry. This one. This one right here. So let's get a piece that kind of lines up with that. Just because. I'm just going to grab my scissors behind me. Just trim that off right there. And we'll continue. So I knew there was a reason why I had the Fabri-Tac out. That is why. So I'm going to just put a bunch of Fabri-Tac here. Sorry for the scratchy sound. That's the Fabri-Tac on top of the vellum. So that is pretty, pretty, pretty. I really don't want to cover up all of the vellum in this case, which I do tend to do. And so now I'm going to use the Fabri-Tac because I am putting this on top of the lace. Oh my goodness gracious, Cara-Renee, moving that glue. And this is the piece where we've got that gold on the edge with it, which I think is really pretty. Like so. And yep. I think I'm just going to continue with the Fabri-Tac, and then I don't have to have strong words with my art glitter glue, which I generally have to have strong words with it. The only thing I don't like about the Fabri-Tac is it often will come out really fast, faster than I want. So I probably could put it in one of those tiny bottles. I hadn't really thought of it. Maybe I'll do that. So then I think I want another piece of that lace. So let's go ahead and measure out another bit. And maybe we'll have it go the other way. Let's just see what that looks like. Yeah, I like that. I'm going to even this edge up, and then I'm just going to measure it to the edge of this. I mean, it doesn't have to be. It can go below that crooked part, which I'll show you here in a second. But I like to have it kind of follow some of the shapes in the paper that it's going that is going on top of it. So we're just going to put that over here. Hopefully that was the right way. Nope, it wasn't. This way. And then let's just move that down just a smidge. I'll put this one on. The Emma Parrish quotes also I printed to a page. They're not really this small, but I printed them smaller so that I could get them on these clusters a little bit better. So let's just get that on there. Perfect. And oh, we have nothing to separate this though. Oh, the vellum. And we have another piece of vellum to go on top because we can see that, but yet we're going to create that other layer of dimension. And I'm going to use the art glitter glue, hopefully, if it's going to cooperate. and it's not. So let me grab a pin. I bought those toppers from an Etsy shop, and she sent these extra needles that help you unclog it so that you're not using your glue stopper, your glue topper pin to do that, because it will destroy it. So let's go ahead and get this on here. I'm not on clusters. I'm not too concerned about glue showing under the vellum. If you don't want glue to show, use Barely Arts is great for that. It's great to use on vellum. So just going to slide that in there, and I just love those layers. Look at that. And then we just see that really kind of faint little bit of flowers. That is gorgeous, if I do not say so myself. If I do say so myself. Okay, where's my... I dropped my... Where did I drop my little focal point? There it is. It fell in my lap. Our little teapot. This is from the tea party kit. I'm almost debating on putting something under that as well, just to pop it up and give it some cool texture. So let's look at this. This is the fabric I was going to pull from a minute ago. This is from a garment that I just purchased at the Goodwill, which is our only, in our area, it is the only, we don't have charity shops, so to speak. Like Goodwill is it. It's really hard to find in my area anything beyond that. Is that too big? Can hardly see it. I do like it, but I think it's not quite big enough. Well, let's not be too picky, Cara-Renee. One side is shiny and the other is not, so that's what I'm looking at there. And I'm just going to bring this down here. Shiny side up. We can still see those flowers, which are really complementary to this little guy. And we'll speed through the next one just so that you don't have to listen to me yakety yakking the whole time. Okay. And then we have the quote. Where do we want the quote? I think I actually want it down here. Very different. Usually I like it up near what's going on in the center, but I think this is going to be fine. And let's just put her right there. And then what I'll do is when I put this in a journal and put it over a page, then I'll decide how I want to decorate the back. Maybe I'll put a pocket in or something. Who knows? It's big enough to put a pocket in it. This is very different, like the way that looks, but that will be not visible because it'll be on this side of the page. Hope that makes sense. So that is cluster number 1. Let's go to cluster number 2, and I'll show you my next paper here. And then I'll speed up a little bit. So this is another one of my coffee dyed papers. So this is coffee dyeing and acrylic inks, and I believe this one also had some gold paint, but that's the one we're going to use. I'm going to ink these up and then we'll get going. Okay, just about done. And we've got a quote here that says, "Those who don't believe in magic will never find it." And I really believe that, whether you are, believe in fairies or in, magical things like that. It's very true that magic takes all forms. I think magic is hope. I think magic is seeing the good in things. I think magic is being able to be playful without guilt. So magic is everywhere. I just believe it's in fairies too. So this is another piece of, this is a vintage music page that vintage music page, which I also did coffee dyeing and acrylic ink and some mixed media work, which is why you see that little dark thing. And it's printed on vellum as well. So let's go ahead and put this together. and kind of put it over that spot. I think that's what I'll do. It's a little bit thickish because of that border on the lace on this left side, but that's okay. And as I've mentioned before, in my journals, I allow for that extra bulk because I like to be able to do what I like to be able to do in my journals, and I don't want to be held back by being afraid of creating bulk in my projects. So, and then we'll go ahead and put the, oh, that's going to be beautiful. Look at that. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Let's get this piece of, this is from a vintage children's book, really old. It's like, it was really even hard to tear because it just wanted to fall apart, but it's perfect for clusters. So let's get that on there. And then, did I want this underneath or on top? So if you are interested in a fairy journal to purchase, you can let me know. I am debating on whether or not to do a giveaway for my 3,000 subscriber giveaway. We're about 70 or so subscribers away from that, and I generally do a giveaway, so I feel like I want to honor that and still do that. So I'm thinking about it. It probably won't be the fairy journal, but it will be something magnificent, I promise. I won't be done with the fairy journals by then anyways. But if you're interested in purchasing a fairy journal, I will be doing 2. And one is potentially spoken for by somebody on Instagram, which was really surprising. She asked if I was going to be selling them, and I told her at that point I didn't know, and then I came back and told her that I would. So this... Oh, we flipped it. That's why I'm like, why isn't there any ink on this side? This looks too clean. And then I like to kind of get the lace a little bit grungy too on those edges. And so there we go. I don't like this one quite as much. I'm going to see if I have another, just a small scrap. Actually, I'm going to bring my little drawers over of the littler scraps and see if I can find something else like that one. Not sure if I will be able to, but we're going to try. That's the white, and the other one's cream. I have that in a couple of different colors. So, oh, is this the cream? That is the cream, though. I don't know if I want just a piece of that, though. Maybe for a little quote. In case you don't know, I love lace. So I'm going to grab just a piece of little scrap paper here. And there we go. So let's go ahead and get this on here. I think that she's just adorable little thing. I just feel like it's missing something, and I'm not sure what that is. I don't know if you guys ever feel that way. I'm just fishing around here and seeing if I can find one more thing that could help that really pop off the page. Like that. That's the answer right there. Goodness gracious, don't you love it when that happens? And that's just the scraps. Of course, you don't have to do the whole lacy thing. Tania over at Tatty Treasures, she doesn't do lace and stuff, so she's very neutral. She likes her neutrals in her projects, which is amazing, and her work is incredible. That's not what I like, so do what you like. Her makes are beautiful, but she's not into the lace. She likes woodland stuff and that kind of thing. So let's just get that out of the way. I feel like I'm losing my voice. I've been sick again. So frustrating. I do have my big, I had my bone density scan, which is one of the steps for evaluating the treatment for hyperparathyroid disease. And so I had the bone density scan, and then I have a phone appointment with the endocrinologist on Tuesday, I believe, this week, or Wednesday. So I'm going to be strongly advocating for myself because I've read a lot about it, and doctors tend to want to just be like, well, let's wait and see what happens. Well, when you have hyperparathyroid disease, it's not going to get better. It's basically you've got something wrong with your parathyroid glands, and generally it's a benign tumor. It needs to be removed. So I'm not going to play the let's wait and see game. I've been sick, and I think it's the root of my sickness for the last 17 or so months. So I'm going to be fighting for that. So I'm just making sure that's open. Oh, got a little stickage. So let's go ahead and do our little eyelet over on this side. I should have done that first. It does not really matter though. So I'm just going to get a little hole right here. And hopefully I can make this one set a little bit better. That one was terrible. I found that it doesn't really compromise how they hold up or anything. It's just a cosmetic thing for me. It's the principle of the thing. They should be able to be set more easier than that. So I'm just going to give this a good squeeze. Let's see if that's any better. Yep, a little bit. So there we go. And probably I'll put for the photos and stuff, I'll finish these off by putting a piece of sari silk or something. Boy, that finger's looking terrible. Yikesies. Okay. And let's go ahead. I'm going to speed through this one. Just inking that up. And then this one says, someday you will be old enough to start reading fairy tales again. Isn't that just the sweetest thing ever? Another thing that I believe, because as adults, we just don't slow down. Like, we don't slow down and just enjoy the simple things. We're so in a rush to move to the next thing, and we just don't lay down and take a nap. You know, I generally don't lay down and take a nap unless I'm not feeling well, though, so that's not really a kudos to me in this case, but that's okay. So I think I'm going to pull a little bit of this is some coffee dyed gauze that I did, so I'm just going to pull a little bit of this out just for something different. There we go. That's perfect. I love it. I love it. Look at how grungy that is. So exciting. Okay. And then this is a page from the kit that I'm working with. This is from, I can't remember if this is the Fairy Tea Party or the Fairy Magic kit, but they're both from my Porch Prints. I'm going to go ahead and do my eyelet first here. And this one, I think I'm going to go ahead and do it out of the, nope, not out of the top, Cara-Renee. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to do those afterwards just to save time. You see me do a couple of them, so I think we're okay there. So I'm going to put some of this, I want another piece of this to put on the base before we lay anything else down. So my biggest suggestion for you, well, one, I have a clusters list in case you are interested and you struggle with clusters. I have a recipe, and my suggestion to you is not overthink it. You know, just just put stuff down. Try not to complicate it. I hope that makes sense. We can complicate things because we have a certain picture in our head about what things are supposed to look like, and if they don't look like that, we can't move on. But often I have found that I don't know if I like it until I'm done, and so you just kind of have to play that game, that risk, and just do it. So I think I wanted this on top. Yes. So this bigger piece is going to go here. I think it's a little too wide, so I am going to tear a little bit of that off, which again is something you can do. And then I'm just going to kind of fold that in like so. And this one we're going to leave really organic. We're not going to put lace on it. We're just going to use the gauze. I have more of it. I just need to dig it out of my bigger storage area for that stuff. Oh, I love that. Look at that. That looks like a Tania from Tatty Treasures kind of cluster. She's so fun to listen to, though. I just have the hardest time keeping up with everyone. It breaks my heart that I can't watch every video of all the people that I love to watch. So I try to hop around. I've created so when I see a video like on Facebook, I'll go to YouTube and I'll like it, and then I will put it in my future watch, in a future watch bucket. And then once I've watched it and I've commented, if I'm really inspired by it, I move it into what's called an inspiration list playlist on my channel. And so then I can always go back and find those things, especially if there's something that I really liked. So just an idea for you in case you have trouble keeping track, because that way if I get behind, I don't end up missing anybody that I really wanted to see. So it's working really well for me. So because I really want to honor other creators, because everybody's sharing so much of themselves to do this for us all, that I want to make sure that they get honored. So I think I'm going to put some of the gauze here underneath my little jar. I can't get over how much this looks like something that Tania would create. Tania. Can't remember how she says her name. That's terrible. I think it's Tania. No, Tania. It's Tania. There we go. Isn't that so cool? So cool. And we're going to put our little jar on. And then we're going to move to our last one. And again, I will decorate the backs of them when I am ready to put them in a journal. So I'm just going to use my art glitter glue here. So I'm not putting I'm not putting it on textile. It's just going to go right here in this space. There we go. There's number 3. And again, I will do an eyelet myself. And here is our last one. So this is some of that same music paper that I talked with you about a few minutes ago that I did mixed media. I did mixed media on a vintage music page. So I guess instead of these being called Vellum Dangles, I think I'm going to call them an over-the-page Vellum Dangle. Toss up the title a little bit. Sometimes it's hard to come up with the names for things. I know it makes people laugh, but it's kind of silly. There we go. So let's pull some stuff before we get going here, so I don't get too wild and crazy here. See if I can find some little bits. This would be beautiful. I have loads of this because it's one of my favorite laces. So in fact, I'm going to go ahead and pull it from my drawer just in case I don't have enough here.
Looks like I need to get more. Look at that. That's all I have left. I'm gonna cry. I think we're gonna put a piece on this, the length of this here. Except I'm going to go ahead and we don't need the whole thing, and we're gonna create bulk by using the whole thing. So what I'll do is I'll just cut this off like this, down the middle-ish. So I just love how it pushes back that paper behind, and it just gives it this element of mystery that I just love. This is a piece of coffee dyed paper. It's original, but I'm not sure if I want to use it because I don't know that it serves really well, I do like it though. Let's just use it. I pulled it for a reason. So normally I will just pull stuff when I'm kind of with you on camera. I just pull piles of stuff. But because I wasn't feeling great, I thought I would just do this a little bit differently. So I think I want, yeah, let's just put this down. I think I'm going to put a little bit of the lace underneath that when we get to that point. This is embossed paper. There's a video I did on the channel recently called 12 Ways to Emboss on, or 12 Ways to Emboss on Various Surfaces, I think. I can't remember what it was exactly titled, but you can check that out if you are interested in how I made that. I think it was an embossed coffee dyed thing that I did. So I think I want to round these corners as well as what I did on that very first one. Because as I mentioned in an earlier video, this is going to definitely have a vintage feel, this this journal. So not vintage, grungy, I guess is what I'm actually trying to get at. And oh, that's perfect. It's just enough of a little hint of fun. What's that? Okay, guys, we are done. I hope that you enjoyed the video. If ever they are too long for you, please do feel free to just speed me up. I won't be offended at all. You could speed me up to 2 times the normal speed, and I don't sound crazy. I'm going to pick one more quote, but I will see you on the other side. Check out the photos at the end. I take a ton of close-up photos, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.